Welcome everyone to today's workout. We're going to get started very shortly, but just before we begin, just want to make sure that the floor around you is free from clutter. There's nothing that you could perhaps trip over as we move around. You've got a drink close by, any medication you may need, such as inhalers or GTN sprays. You know where they are if you need them. Today's workout, we're going to begin with a warm-up, so just to kind of get the circulation going and get ready to do the exercises. So without any further ado, I'd like you to, if you're going to stay seated, I want you to sit nice and tall, but feel free to do this stood up. So we're going to begin just with a very light march. So it's always important to begin any workout nice and gradual. Okay? So we're taking these first few minutes just to ease the body out of its sedentary state and into an active state. And the more gradual we do that, the easier the rest of your workout will feel, and the more you'll get out of it. If you think about the sports people that you see on the TV, you know, they will warm up for a very long period of time before perhaps a football or rugby game, so that they can perform at the best when the whistle blows. So if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for us. So from that heel march to a heel dig. So still think about your posture. I'm just going to tap the heel out in front. You might not see from the camera, but I'm sat towards the end of my chair, and that permits my legs to move much more freely. Good. So last couple. Well done. Okay, I'm going to take my feet to a good shoulder width apart, still nice and tall once again, arms across my chest, and I'm going to gently rotate the trunk. Paying attention to my posture and just turning and looking from one side to the next. Not forcing my body, but just gently encouraging that movement. Last time. Well done. Okay. Coming back to the march that we began with, but this time I want you to add in an arm curl. So just bringing my hands up to my shoulders and back down, but keeping my legs marching. Okay. Start to make a fist as the hands come up, and really spread your hands wide on the way down. Good. Please keep your arms doing that, and let's return to the heel dig that we did earlier. Again, not allowing yourself to slouch. Excellent. We're going to return to the march again, and we're going to swap our hand movement. So, get yourself marching once again. I'm going to do what we term a lateral raise. Start to lifting up out to the side. Good. Excellent. Well done. So working the shoulders, working the arms. Fantastic. Last time. Welcome back everyone. So for the first part of this workout today, we're going to work on our strength and balance. And I've picked out 6 exercises for us that do just that. So, without any further ado, let's begin with a sit to stand exercise. So, utilising the chair, I want you to push and engage these thigh muscles here. Just drive yourself up and down out the chair. So this is what really builds that strength and confidence in your legs. Anyone Watching your issues with your knees, this is perfectly safe for you to do. But try and keep the weight back on your heels as we do this. Good. Last one. Excellent, good. So we did around about 10 repetitions then. That's a really good number to aim for, everyone. So you can do them in multiples of 10, you know, or you can split those 10 up into segments. So it could be 2 lots of 5, it could be 6 repetitions, then 4 when you're ready to go. You know, as long as you're aiming to make progress with that, then that's perfect. Lovely. Right, so as I said, so that really works on the strength of these upper legs. We're now going to go to the behind the chair and work on the lower legs. So I'm just going to turn my chair to the side here. I'm going to hold onto the back of the chair here, or sometimes a kitchen unit or a tabletop, and we're just going to perform a very straightforward but highly effective calf raise. So I'm lifting the heels up off the floor. As I said, you don't have to hold on if you feel you're happy not to hold on, and do so. Lifting really, once you've done a few repetitions, really try and lift those heels as high as they go. And again, around about 10 repetitions of this exercise will be a good level to aim at to begin with, and then maybe multiples of 10 after that. So maybe this week aim for 10 repetitions, next week 20 repetitions, and build up like so. So I hope you all felt that in your calf muscle. We're now going to work the muscles at the front of our shins, you know, and we're kind of going to do what we call a toe raise. Like so. So again, if you feel you want to, you hold on to a chair. Likewise, if you was to do this, you could always have something behind you if you're worried about your balance behind. So doing this close by a wall is a good idea. Like so. But this helps to build up the strength in your ankles and also in your feet as well. Good. Excellent. Right. So, putting the chair to one side, our next exercise, you can imagine like a tightrope out in front of you. So all I'm going to ask you to do is stand with one foot in front of the other. I'm going to cross over and I'm going to stand on that tightrope. And when I'm ready, hold out my hands. And we're aiming for a 10-second balance, like so. So feel free to have something close by your hands. So if you need to grab, you can do, but we're aiming for at least 10 seconds of your balance. And once you've done those 10 seconds, we're going to swap round and place the other foot in front, like so. And once again, aim for those 10 seconds. Now I know from experience, if I look down at my feet, I'm more likely to lose my balance here. So if focusing your eyes straight ahead will help with your balance. Good. Excellent. Well done, everyone. Okay. Very straightforward exercise, but highly effective at the skill of balance. So we're going to take that one step further on the next exercise, and we're going to put that inline stance into a walk. So it's a little bit more advanced. And again, please have something by your side if you feel we need that. So I'm going to start again in that stance. I'm going to get my balance, but then I'm going to take either one or possibly 2 steps but this is much more difficult than it looks. If you're limited on space, it can just be the one step. As I said earlier, if you look down at your feet, you'll make it much more difficult than it needs to be. Take your time, moving that leg. Last time back. Again, if you're finding this difficult, make sure you got your windows closed, that there's not a big breeze coming through, blowing you all over the shop. Lovely, well done. And my final exercise for you today on this balance series is a stalk stand, or a simple one-footed balance test. So, as always, have something by your side if need be. We're going to do this on both feet, but it's just as very simple. Take one foot off and then take the arms out. And all I want you to do is count how long you can balance for. So just count in your head, just the seconds that you can keep that balance. Now, the higher you lift the knee, the harder you make it. So to keep the foot close to the ground, like so. And as before in the other exercises, you focusing your eyes on a spot in the distance will help. Good. And let's do the same on the other foot. So just straight away, I notice my balance on my right side is not as good as my left, which is kind of a little amusing because I've always found my left side to be the weaker, so I do more exercise on that side and I possibly got it to where now my right needs to catch up. So again, for those who wish, keep a little record either on paper or just in your head of how long you can do your balance for, and see if you can make progress with that throughout the coming weeks. So, and then back down. So that's a really good exercise just to practice if you're waiting for the kettle to boil or the adverts have come on you on the TV and you just want to fill your time more productively. If you're waiting in a shop, in the queue, if you don't mind the funny glances you get at the supermarket, wherever you get that opportunity to practice your balance, have a go. Right, so that's the strength and balance element done. Let's move on to the next. Okay. If you wish, you can do this cool down, the last bit of your workout today, from the chair, but I'm going to do it stood up. So, all the things I mentioned about the warm up, the opposite is true for the cool down. The more gradual a cool down can be, the better we feel after the workout. Yeah, especially today's workout that was challenging in parts. A good cool down, will definitely be recommended. So, I'm just going to bring a forward and backward walk. So again, if space permits you, a couple of steps forward, a couple of steps back. Good. Or a little lateral step. Like so. So we're just getting a bit of nice relaxed movement in the areas that we've worked. Excellent. Okay. Finish with a nice wide stance. I'm going to have a reach left to right here. Just stretching out the trunk a little bit. Okay, we're now going to take one foot behind the other arms folded, and we're going to turn the trunk away from whichever foot that's gone back. So here, I'm going to turn and look over this shoulder here. So I'm feeling the stretch in my lower back. Come back to the centre, swap over. So turning away from your back foot. Little heel or hamstring curl. Just bringing the heel up towards your backside, stretching out these thighs, getting the circulation to the hamstrings, just to get rid of any what's called lactic acid. So that's the byproduct of exercise. So the burning sensation we feel in our muscles, that is lactic acid. And often if your muscles feel sore to touch after a workout the following day, it is that lactic acid still in the muscles. So that's why a good cool down is recommended, just to reduce the chance of that happening. Well done, okay. Again, if need be, have something by your side. I'm going to stretch out the calf. So 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. I'm going to press the heel down in that back foot. Now notice I'm trying to get it as straight as I can. So my rear foot is pointing straight at the camera. That ensures that I get a good stretch on my calf. If it's cockeyed one way or the other, it's not going to be nowhere near as effective, yeah? So once I've got that heel pressed down, I'm going to raise that hand up and just slightly over. So I'm stretching not only my lower leg, but all up here into my lats, my ribs, my hip flexors, like so. Come back down, let's swap over. So again, adjusting, so I make sure that that rear foot is pointing straight, the heel is pressed into the ground. Again, I've got something here by my side if I need to reach and grab, but I'm going up as high as I can and slightly over, so I feel this whole side of my body being stretched. Not forgetting to breathe, just nice and relaxed. Well done. Come back. A very low march. So just a little pitter-patter with the feet. Just moving the knees. Give your shoulders a roll. Lovely, let's work those rotator cuffs, muscles. Like so. Take them a little bit lower now. Alternate. Probably recommend making sure you got your front window, your front room curtains closed if you're doing this. I don't want you worrying the neighbours with kind of funny movement. Good, lovely, excellent. Rest those arms down. A couple of stretches of the hamstrings, and then we're pretty much wrapped up. So I'm going to dig my heel into the ground. A chair can go behind me if you like. But I'm going to tilt forward so I feel a stretch down the back of my hamstrings. I'm going to pull my toes up towards me to extend the stretch into my calf. And I'm going to stay here for up to about 30 seconds. You know, as long as you like. Feel free to repeat any of these stretches if you've got any particular areas that feel tight to you and you want to work a little bit more. Please repeat these stretches once I've moved on. Take advantage of the fact that you've got all your muscles warm So therefore they're much more pliable and react better to stretching than doing it from cold. So again, as you can see, I'm pushing my hips back, stretching my hamstrings at the back of the thigh. And relax. Well done. We'll try a thigh stretch. Now this might be difficult for some of you. So this is a version of the classic, the one that you often see footballers do, where they'll grab the ankle like that. Often, you know, the people who we work with struggle to do that. So utilising a step, or in this case, the chair, I'm going to rest the foot on like so, and I'm going to push the pelvis in this direction. I'm still going to get that same stretch down the thigh like so. Alternatively, a small towel, a tea towel around the foot can help pull that up towards, I've seen people use the back of the trouser leg or the sock to achieve the same thing. Do the same on the other foot. Oops. Again, pushing the hips forward. So I feel the stretch down the front of the thigh here. So this kind of will bring us towards the end of our workout for today. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll look forward to seeing you on our next workout. Take care everyone. Goodbye.